And we are live on YouTube.
Awesome.
All
All right,
right.
welcome to our reading of the second half of Murder on the Orient Express. The first half, of course, we had Murder on Our Train, a American businessman of somewhat shady origins. And
Very
we've
shady.
got 12 passengers on the train, plus a doctor and Poirot and the director of the line, and I think that's it. Maybe the one other person on there. And our second half, of course, we're going to find out who killed our gentleman. And of course, we'll end with a nice little classic at all the suspects in the room to figure it out. So, because this half has Poirot in almost every scene and only 2 or 3 other characters in that scene with him at any given time, for this read, we've divided Poirot up between 6 different readers. So we all have a chance to read part of him, and the action descriptions will be divided also between the same 6. So we'll go ahead and introduce ourselves here with names, pronouns, where you're at, what part or parts you are playing, and where people can find you on social media if you feel inclined to share that. Let's just start with player 1, who is Sandy.
My name is Sandy Roth, and I live in Colorado Springs. My pronouns are she, her, and I am reading for Actions and Description 1, Colonel Arbuthnot and Hercule Poirot 4B.
All right, and so let's go down to player 2, who is Heather.
Hi, everyone. My name is Heather Lee Cameron. Pronouns are she, her. I live in Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. Tonight, I'll be reading Mrs. Hubbard, Count Andreni, Actions and Descriptions 2, Hercule Poirot 3, Hector McQueen. I'm an actor, a writer, an independent filmmaker. I'm represented by Faces of Wendy. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here. You can find me on Heather Lee Freelancer and Heather Lee Cameron on Facebook. You can find me on Heather Lee Cameron on Instagram and the Storm and Latter-day Saint on YouTube. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Heather. Let's jump down here to Vicky.
Hi, I'm Vicky Dykes. My pronouns are she, her. I'm in Penhold, Alberta, in Canada. Today I will be Greta Olson, Princess Dragomirov, and Poirot in the last act. And I'm going to be doing actions and descriptions in the middle. You can find me on, Facebook under the name Vicky Dykes, and on Instagram, I'm Yoga Grandma 10, and the same name on Threads.
Awesome, thanks, Vicky. Let's go down to Aubrey.
Hi, guys. I'm Aubrey. I'm having some issues with my hat. Apparently, it doesn't like my headphones very much. Anyway, I'm Aubrey. My pronouns are whatever you like. I don't really care about them. I mean, you can call me he, call me she. I'll just call me Aubrey. Works the best. Anyway, I am in Northern California, in a little place called Rio Vista. I will be playing in not only Inspector Poirot for the first act, but I will also be playing Hildegard, Antonio, action descriptions on Act 4, and also for Ratchet. I'm playing some of Ratchet, our shady businessman who had died.
And in the script, Antonio will be listed as Foscarelli.
Yes, Foscarelli. Okay.
All right. Let's see, we're going to skip over Haley since she's not here and go down to Chris.
Hello, my name is Chris Diaz. You can find me on Facebook by Chris Diaz, Letterboxd Chris Diaz, everywhere else. I'm from Connecticut, Fairfield, Beaverton, and happy to be here. I'll be playing Pierre Michel, Dr. Constantine, Hercule Poirot, and on, I believe, Act
2.
2. Mary, Cyrus, and action description for B.
All right. And if Haley gets here, she'll be playing Bianchi, Countess, Poirot 4, Beddoes, and action descriptions 5, and I will fill in for her until she arrives, if she arrives. So I'm Kat Wilson, she, her, in Gig Harbor, Washington. And when I'm not reading here, you can find me on Facebook with Two Households in Fair Corona, a Shakespeare reading group on Saturdays, some Saturdays. All right, so we're going to go ahead and share our script here. This script, as we found out last week, has some it's very lovely. The action descriptions are very well written in this one, not too much and not too little. And we left off with the train having come to a stop in the middle of their journey with a big old snow pile on the tracks. So the train is stranded until they can be rescued from the other side. And that's about where we left off with 3 more whistles, very loud and near. And here are 6 distant notes from what sounds like a far-off bugle. All right. Who's starting us off with A and D? That'd be Sandy.
Interior Inquiry Headquarters.
I fear that help is at hand. Even if it is only a working party with picks and shovels, we shall have to work fast to complete this inquiry before reaching Broad. If it is an engine with a snow plow, we shall have to work very fast indeed.
Who next?
Miss Albert.
Oh, God have mercy.
Mm.
Sandy?
The big old me.
Ping, Pierre.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ping, Pierre enters, backing away from Mrs. Hubbard.
The bugle mean to help near, madame.
Mrs. Hubbard sails past him like an embattled Valkyrie.
2.
She plumps into the chair indicated by...
Time is what counts, Mrs. Hubbard. We are to complete this inquiry before reaching Broad. I must make my questions as brief as I hope you will make your answers. The more often you can confine yourself to a simple yes or no, the better.
Well, don't waste time yattering. Begin.
Your full name is Harriet Belinda Hubbard.
Yes. I was called Harriet after my...
By now, Mr. McQueen has doubtless informed you of the true identity of Mr. Ratchet.
Yes, that low-down stinking son of a...
Were you acquainted with the Armstrongs?
No! Of course not. They were way above our class. Anyways, they lived in...
Hey, Miss Hubbard, I overheard the whole of your conversation with Pierre about there being a man in your room soon after 1 o'clock on the night of the murder.
Oh.
Tell me one thing more. Was the bolt locked on your side of the door that communicated with Mr. Ratchet's compartment when you went to bed?
Yes, so far as I know. My daughter had advised me to be sure to...
How do you mean, so far as you know? Could you not see the bolt from your bed?
No.
Why?
It was masked by my makeup bag on the hook above. Pierre checked the bolt after I rang my bell and told him there was a man in my...
Yes, we know all about that.
Oh, no, you don't.
A pregnant pause.
I beg your pardon?
You don't know what I found this morning on top of the magazine I'd been reading to send myself to sleep before the man arrived in my room.
What?
Triumphantly, Mrs. Hubbard hauls a capacious handbag into view, and with great deliberation, as both Bianchi and Doctor converge on the table, proceeds to burrow into its interior. She takes out in turn 2 large clean handkerchiefs, a pair of horn-rimmed glasses, a bottle of Howard's aspirin, a packet of Glauber's salts, a small flat tin labeled curiously strong peppermints, a book of American Express checks, a snapshot of an extraordinary plain-looking female child, some letters, 5 strings of pseudo-oriental beads, and a small metal object, a button. As all 3 peer at it...
Ma, this is a button from the tunic of a wagon-lit conductor.
But Perot seems already to have become more interested in Mrs. Hubbard's handkerchiefs as he helps her to replace the contents of the bag.
Doctor, will you be so kind as to verify whether Pierre has a lost tunic button?
Gladly.
Bianchi hands button to Doctor, who exits by door, to which Perot now shepherds Mrs. Hubbard. On the way, he stoops as though to pick up behind her something that has fallen.
Your handkerchief, Miss Hubbard.
That's not mine, Mr. Poirot. I have mine right here.
Ah, I thought that with the initial H.
H for Harriet. H for Hubbard, but it's still not mine. Mine are sensible things, not expensive Paris valets. What good's a hanky like that to anybody's nose? One sneeze and it has to go to the laundry.
She
Huh.
laughs. She laughs hugely in the doorway at her own mot. We close to their profiled heads in a two-shot.
Forgive me, Mrs. Hubbard. You have afforded us a great deal of help in this difficult case. Thank you, if I may so express it, for playing your part.
For an extraordinary split second, the laughter leaves her eyes and then returns.
If you need me again, I'll be around.
Cut to interior main body of Pullman, Pierre leading Greta Olson, who awaits interrogation with a timidity which should be touching as well as funny.
I am afraid.
Have no fear, mademoiselle. They all come out looking very relieved.
But I do not relieve myself. I am afraid. I know what they will.
Ping! Pierre ushers her gently through the communicating door into inquiry headquarters, close two-shot, Doctor murmuring in Poirot's ear.
Pierre had no tunic button missing, and all his buttons are sewn on with old thread.
As I expected. God dog, Frauchen Olson.
Snack du svensk?
Alas, mademoiselle, it is the extent of my Swedish. Forgive me if I am personal, but I've observed the most Scandinavians of my acquaintance are well educated in speaking other languages because nobody speaks theirs, yet you.
I was born backwards. That is why I work in Africa as missionary, teaching little brown babies more backwards than myself.
But I see you have spent 3 months in America. Were you not able to improve?
Was with Group International for American Rich. I speak Swedish to big audiences at American Swedish Institution in Minneapolis and other big cities. In 10 weeks, we make $14,000, 27 cents.
I am satisfied.
He approaches the diagram.
Here is a compartment you share with.
And here is my number 7 bed.
Tell me about number 8.
It's filled with Miss Debenham, a nice young lady from Baghdad, where she teach 3 children English, 3 forwards children.
After the train left Vincorvey, did she leave her berth?
Oh no, oh she sleep like me.
If you yourself were asleep, how could you be sure she did not leave?
Oh, in Shimoga Mission, I can hear snake breathe. I would know.
Did you leave your room?
Oh, not till morning, in my bedgown.
Was your bedgown white with red animals?
No, is Jagger.
And Miss Dunham's bedgown?
Det var lila.
Like the French lilac?
Ja, väl.
Why are you making this trip, Mrs. Olson?
Oh, same as always. Money for mission.
When this is all over, mademoiselle, I promise to make you an emolument.
Tusen tack skall du ha!
Perrault dexterously takes one of the two arms outstretched to embrace him and pilots her into the corridor. As he returns,
I am convinced of her innocence. She has indeed the brain of a sheep. Or a wolf in sheep's clothing?
Nonsense. Has the doctor ever said that her physique is as feeble as?
Some of your own conclusions? Please ring the bell twice.
Ping ping, Pierre ushers in the Count and Countess Adriano, the latter a model of Parisian haute couture.
Pierre, set another chair for Monsieur le Comte. And
As
be so
Pierre
kind.
does
Sir, and be so kind to inform the Princess Dragomirov that Signor Bianchi and myself will shortly attend on her and her maid in her own compartment.
That is very proper.
Pierre leaves and Perrault scans a passport.
Le Comte. This is a Hungarian diplomat passport, which gives you and your wife the right to refuse interrogation.
In these circumstances, we waive that right.
You are most kind. As you know, Miss Mem la Comtesse, it is a joint passport which sets out your husband's name and titles, but requires no particulars about yourself except for your signature and maiden name. Your maiden name is clearly Grunwald.
That is correct, monsieur. My family is of German extraction, though I now hold Hungarian citizenship.
Her attractive voice is cosmopolitan with German undertones.
Unfortunately, the first letter of your married signature has been almost obliterated.
We angle down over Perrault's shoulder on insert passport page. Over this.
By a grease spot.
This needs careful designing, which cannot be reproduced here in transcript. At its simplest, the grease spot could lie a hair's breadth to our left of the capital E and Elena, but there are other ways. Cut back to inquiry headquarters.
I must say, I find immigration's office officials are often less than cleanly.
But that's
They
in there.
Oh, this is the Count. I apologize. I thought that was Perrault. Go
I
ahead.
must say, I find immigration officials are often less than cleanly. They sit in their little box eating buttered roll with one hand and stamping the split butter into your passport with the other.
Precisely. I should therefore be greatly obliged if you would duplicate the mutilated entry on your passport.
Sorry.
Elena, Andrea ne Grunwald.
Oh, that's the Countess, not the Princess.
Oh, sorry.
And that's Haley's line.
I'm sorry, y'all. Okay.
Sorry, back up here.
We're all a little funny here, apparently.
My screen. There we go.
An hour of my life today. I'm sorry, Elena and Jenny. Oh,
Sorry.
it's okay.
I don't know why it keeps doing that. I am so sorry. My mouse is too sensitive today. All right, let me back up here. Count. There we go.
Elena Andrini ne Grunwald.
There we go.
She hands paper and pen back to Perrault.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Let me.
No.
No.
You have to go back down.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with my mouse here. My apologies. I think it's because I have it on full screen and. All right, I'm gonna try arrows instead. Ugh! All right, one sec. I'm gonna pause sharing the script for a sec. I'm gonna get into the other document. See if that works.
No worries.
Stop. Sometimes it gets really funny. There. Pull the other one up. Page 85. Okay. Come on, stop. F11. Oh, that was why computer. My keyboard is stuck. You gotta be kidding me. Come on.
Sometimes reopening it helps.
Yeah, I know. I
Mhm.
gotta get it to so I can actually get out of full screen, and that's the F11 key. Come on. Oh, hope I don't kick all of us out of here in a sec. Come on.
Third stars by Big Len.
I'm trying to close it out and I can't find Adobe on here. All right, let's try this. Let me just ignore that one there and open it elsewhere. A different version.
Do, 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 do.
You know, I'm glad I'm actually in a good acting spirit because I was auditioning for a play right before this, so it's good.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Something went wrong. Yeah, no kidding. All right. And open this one up. Scripts.
Yeah, I've enjoyed doing Zooms, like post an audition too. I feel it. I did well.
Okay. All right, now I gotta find the Zoom window. Share. And then I gotta get back to the right page. Okay, down we go. What page did I say we were on?
Okay. Whoop. On out. Shit.
Okay, close. Okay, is that a large enough print there?
Yeah.
All right, let's try that.
We still need to go down a little bit.
Oh, we do?
Mm-hmm.
Allowing for the difference in pens, didn't we say that?
Okay, there, yes. Maybe, actually, wait, maybe go up a little bit, actually. Sorry. There it is. Okay,
Let's take
there we
from
go.
that count as this line.
She has paper.
Elaine.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, my dog's back. Elena, wonderful timing. Adrienne, ne Grunwald.
She hands paper and pen back to Perot, who juxtaposes the two documents as we cut to insert passport page and signed paper. Over this,
Allowing for the difference in pens, the duplication seems exact.
cut back to inquiry headquarters.
There, you would see to the point. Then in asking whether this handkerchief is yours.
Since it contains neither of my initials, no point whatever, monsieur.
And even less point in asking the color of your dressing gown.
None, unless you take a professional interest in pale blue chiffon.
I take a professional interest in crime, madam. Have you and your husband ever visited America together?
No, we first met in Wiesbaden much later.
Later than what?
Later than the days of my youth when I was in post in Washington.
You lived in Washington.
What diplomat promises not?
He stifles a bored yawn on which Perot, jumping up to approach diagram, pounces.
You did not sleep well last night.
On the contrary, apart from one of Mrs. Hubbard's customary outbursts, I slept very soundly.
And you, madame, you were Mrs. Hubbard's next door neighbor.
Even more soundly. We neither of us woke till after 8. As is my custom on night trains, I took Tronial.
Perot turns questioningly to Doctor.
Den cell phone, the new metron, one dilute the white crystal in water. It is as strong hypnotic.
You make it sound like a poison.
And with most sleepy draw, if taken its static quality, a poison is what it is.
You are not accusing.
Yankee rises in consternation, Perot in composure, as he approaches and opens corridor door.
You are not accused. You are excused. Thank you both for your help and cooperation.
He shuts the door behind him.
You see, she admitted the Tyranno to Ratchet.
No.
Oh, then what do you think?
I think you have reached a state where, in order to find a victim,
I would confess to having done the deed myself. You're right.
I also think that so far the Count and Countess are the only passengers who have told us the truth, not the whole truth. I did not press for that. We can discover it more exponentially elsewhere.
Cut to...
Interior. Is it my turn?
Yep, Act 2.
Okay.
Interior compartment number 14. Hildegard Smith with off-screen Princess Dragomira. The compartment itself is basically no different in layout from the others we have already seen, but it is opulently transformed by the imposing patina of personal possessions without which the princess never travels. E.g., a signed photograph of the late Tsar and Tsarina of Russia in a silver frame, a miniature Fabergé clock at 11.35 set precisely, preciously an opening Easter egg, an open shagreen writing case replete with a decal-edge crested notepaper, envelopes, blotter, and a gold swan fountain pen, a flattened oblong frame displaying the late General Prince Dragomirov's Imperial Army medal set in blue velvet, and an open portable walnut cabinet containing a cut glass decanter nestled snugly between small plush cushioned Lalique glasses. In brief, our set dresser may go to town. Action resumes. We start on Hildegard's doggedly reading aloud from a volume by Goethe, while camera roves the compartment in the general direction of off-screen princess.
Kennst du das Land, wo die Zitronen blühen? Im dunklen Lüb die Guldorangen blühen. Ein sanfter Windwurm, blauen Himmelwett, der Miet still und hoch der Lüber sitzt, kannst du wohl.
Heather?
On the word the wall, with its upward interrogative inflection, camera pans finally to MCU of Princess. She is fast asleep. Cut to reverse MCU. Hildegard, observing this, she sighs a little but continues doggedly, dutifully and a shade dispiritedly to read aloud to a mistress who would at once wake up if she stops.
Dahin, mocht ich mit dir, oh mein Gott.
I knock at the door. Hildegard snaps book shut. This, rather than the knock, awakes.
Why have you stopped reading?
Hildegard, already at the door, admits Bianchi and Poirot.
Signor Bianchi.
She extends a jeweled hand, which Bianchi deferentially kisses.
Alteza, y permiso presentar el investigador distinto, Monsieur Hercule Poirot.
Poirot makes a stiff, correct little royal bow from the neck.
Hildegard has read me many of your cases in the newspaper, but I have yet had to stop her. Nowadays, they are the only sort of literature that keeps me awake, and I need what I resolutely continue to call my beauty sleep. Would you care for a little cognac?
Thank you.
Please.
Hildegard, now! You wish to confess to the murder of Mr. What's-his-name?
Even Bianchi, to whose appalled face we briefly panned to, would not have wanted this.
Concentrate, man, La Princesse. It is I who wish to make a confession. You pay me the compliment of having read about me. I return the compliment by admitting that I have read about you.
He intentionally pauses.
Continue.
I have been accidentally reminded that you were the godmother of Sonia Armstrong, who were herself the mother of the kidnapped child, Daisy.
Bianchi almost drops his glass, but draining it instead, shamelessly holds it out to Hildegard for refilling.
How did you become her godmother, madame?
The princess, for what seems an eternity, remains motionless. Then,
I was a friend and admirer of her mother, Monsieur, a great American actress, Linda Arden.
Poirot's eyes widen in admiration.
Why did you bring the dagger from the place?
Is that a quotation or a question?
A quotation, madam. I saw her twice as Lady Macbeth in London.
She was the greatest tragic actress of her day.
What? She is alive, madame.
Alive, but bedridden. The American doctors speak of disseminated sclerosis. I shall try to see her once again.
There was, if I remember, a younger daughter.
Oh, yes. Much younger. I cannot recall her name because whenever I paid a visit, she was always away at school.
And what happened to the younger daughter?
She married a Turk or some such. We never spoke of it.
What was Mrs. Armstrong's maiden name?
Mrs. Armstrong's maiden name was Greenwold.
Hildegard momentarily raises his hitherto downcast eyes.
The surname of her mother's first husband.
Money law, Princesse. May I test your memory? Indeed, your patience for a minute longer. There are other names in the Armstrong house. Hold that I shall be grateful to know.
The princess graciously but unenthusiastically nods.
Am I right in recalling there was a secretary?
Sepia flashback, newspaper photo. A young girl turns away from camera as she helps the distraught Mrs. Armstrong disembarking from plane. Compartment number 14 color.
Of course there was a secretary.
A pause.
Her name, madame.
Miss, Miss, my memory is not what it, oh yes, Miss Freebody.
And her first name.
Another pause.
I have no notion. One does not address secretaries by their first names, except possibly in amorous circumstances.
Bianchi hides a smile.
Of course, there was none. The Armstrongs were a devoted couple.
Was there not a gallant chauffeur?
The sepia flashback, scene 14. The Cadillac crashes into a tree. Compartment number 14, color.
There was, but I never used him. I had my own.
Was he the only male servant?
Sepia flashback, scene 9. Henchman, coaching, manservant. Compartment 14, color.
I remember occasionally seeing another. I think he was formerly the Colonel's Indian, how do you call it? Orderly? Sikh or some such. His name, as with all Asians, was unpronounceable.
And Miss Armstrong's personal maid, the one who was wrongly suspected of complicity in the kidnapping and killing herself.
I always travel with my own personal maid. There was no need to speak with Mrs. Armstrong's.
Then doubtless found Smith will recollect her name.
A silence in which Hildegard looks at the princess, who, since Poirot was watching, looks unhelpfully at her blood-red fingernails.
Shirley Falone adds one lady maid to another. You converse as equal below stairs.
Ja,
Ja.
natürlich.
Oh,
Ja, natürlich. But let us meet often called by their Christian names.
And what was her?
Oh. Paulette.
She blows her nose.
Finally, there was the nurse.
Sepia flashback, scene 3. Nurse, unrecognizably gagged, blindfolded, and bound to her chair. Compartment 14, color.
I had no need of a nurse. This is an ordeal still to come.
You never spy him, but damn La Princesse.
My doctor has advised against it.
Bianchi also rises. Poirot has never sat down.
Hildegard, be so kind as to give me 2 aspirin and ask the dining car attendant to bring me a glass of tea. Then you may retire to your compartment. I will ring if I need you.
As Hildegard curtsies and goes to procure aspirin from a little medicine chest.
There is no reason for us to fatigue you further, madame. You have been of the utmost help.
Both he and Bianchi kiss her frail extended hand, and Poirot opens the door for Hildegard, who proceeds them on her errand. Cut to shooting up corridor as Hildegard recedes toward dining car. Poirot shuts the door of number 14, then in an urgent undertone to Bianchi.
Go back to the absent coach and tell Pierre to summon Colonel Astronaut in 5 minutes. I want word with the maid.
As Bianchi exits shots down the train, Poirot strolls up towards the dining car into which Hildegard has now vanished. He stops with his back to her second-class compartment number 5 and 6, and ostensibly surveys the bleak view from the corridor window opposite. Within a few seconds, footsteps herald Hildegard's return. As he turned to face her, she looks pardonably alarmed.
Fallon Smith, may I speak with you about the small matter in privacy of your compartment? You may leave the door ajar.
She nervously ushers him into apartment number 5 and 6.
I observed how moved you were at the mention of Miss Armstrong's maid, Marie.
She had such a sweet nature, monsieur. We were deep friends.
Have you by any chance a photograph or snapshot of her near her possession?
Oh, yes, monsieur. I never travel without my photo box. It helps to pass the evenings.
She reaches for a suitcase on the unused upper berth and pulls it down, refusing Poirot's help.
No, no, monsieur, I am strong.
Then she lifts the lid of the suitcase and screams. Poirot, startled, slams shut the compartment door with one hand and gently stops her mouth with the other. In this position, he looks down on POV top shot, a wagon-lit conductor's folded uniform.
Be calm. This could be your salvation, and that are every passenger colored coat, including your mistress. When did you last open the suitcase?
After Belgrade, monsieur, when Pierre summoned me to my mistress, I took out the volume of Goethe in case she wished me to read her to sleep.
Poirot has pulled out the uniform cap, tunic, and trousers, leaving Hildegard free to doodle in the photo box, stirring.
Too short for Pierre. And yes, there is a button missing from the tunic. The button found by Miss Hubbard and had passed by in the crowded pocket.
Here is the photo, monsieur.
Snapshot size. We could show it, of course, but perhaps it would be better only to show its effect on other people.
And this pretty innocent girl threw herself out of.
Hildegard feels rapidly for her handkerchief, and Poirot has the presence of mind to proffer her from his pocket the delicate square of cambric.
Use this, Ferron. I found it in the corner and thought it might be yours because it bears the initial H.
Even before she takes it,
No, no, monsieur. This is the handkerchief of not a maid, but a great lady.
Like your mistress.
now she examines it carefully and shakes her head.
This is her style, but not her handkerchief. Oh, I know all her linen. Besides, the initial is wrong.
What is the princess' first name?
Natalia, monsieur. It is a Russian name.
As she returns the handkerchief,
Then I must keep it until we find the right owner. Might I also, until the evening, keep this photo? It is so important in this difficult case to observe the atmosphere of that happy household before the tragedy struck. I promise to return it.
Of course, monsieur. That does not worry me, but this... This does. Do you think I should be suspected of hiding it in my suitcase?
Are we still going with me doing the role or are we switching?
We're at the end of 153, I believe.
Say
when they trade.
100.
Yeah, but we're at page 100, but not till we get to shot 153.
All right.
We changed it to
Thank
shot
you.
numbers. Mm-hmm.
Farron Smith, I am sure you did not hide the uniform, and I am sure that you are a loyal and devoted friend to your mistress. A comfort, a solace, even a good cook. You see, you are a good cook, are you not?
All my ladies have said so.
her mouth open, looking frightened again. We close to close-up of this and hold it over.
Off Wittgenstein!
Corridor. Poirot, carrying uniform, closes door of number 5 and 6. He accidentally drops the peaked cap, sticks it somewhat incongruously on his domed head, and is passing his own compartment when with his free hand he feels for a cigarette case, clicks it open, and finds it empty. So, in great good humor, he enters compartment number 9, lifts the unlocked lid of his suitcase, and stares incredulously down at, point of view, top shot, the mysterious kimono, white with red dragons, and neatly folded. Poirot and suitcase. For the second time, we hear him laugh out loud as he collects his kimono on his free arm, and from beneath it, in his suitcase, extracts a packet of goulots. At this moment, the train, Poirot reacts again, whistles thrice. Cut to exterior, guard on snow-covered carriage rooftop. He peers through binoculars raised in his left hand as train emits 3 more whistles, which are answered louder than before by 6 notes from a nearer horn. With his free hand, guard pulls his furled green flag from his Wellington boot and waves it in visual acknowledgement. Help has been sighted. We cut to Pullman. Poirot in doorway confronting Doctor and Bianchi. Peaked hat perched jauntily on his head, a conductor's tunic and trousers over one arm, and a lady's kimono over the other. He disposes each item with the grace of a window designer over the back of a sofa, and we pan him into shot with
What the devil?
The pace quickens.
And time grows shorter. If we do not unmask the murderer by the time the train reaches Broad, then the Yugoslavian police will take over, and the innocent will suffer with the guilty.
As in summon Colonel Arbuthnot.
ping! Arbuthnot, wearing tweeds, a stiff white collar, and an old Wellingtonian tie, enters with a no-nonsense air and instantly spots a display on the sofa.
You opening a dress shop?
No, we are closing an inquiry. Where is Shimoga?
I beg your pardon?
Shimoga, where is it?
Well, it's a bit off my track. I'm a northwest frontier man myself, but Shimoga's down south. In Mysore. Why?
Does it possess a mission?
How the hell should I know? India's pustular with missions.
You are returning on leave from India to England.
Yes.
Why overland?
Why not?
Because the sea route by P&O is more usual.
I choose to come overland for reasons of my own.
Colonel Arbuthnot, in a murder inquiry, no witness's reasons are exclusively his own.
I stopped for one night to see Ur of the Chaldees and for 3 days in Baghdad with the AOC, who happens to be a friend of mine.
The English Miss Debenham also comes from Baghdad. Did you first meet her there?
No, I did not. I first met Miss Debenham when she and I shared the railway convoy car from Kirkuk to Nisibin. Why do you ask?
It is possible that the murder was committed by a woman, or even by a man and a woman in collaboration. Would you, from your acquaintanceship with Miss Debenham, have thought it possible that she might be physically or emotionally capable of...
That's a bloody irregular question.
I know, but I ask it.
Miss Debenham is not a woman.
Bianchi gasps. The doctor frowns. Even Poirot raises his eyebrows.
She is a lady.
Which precludes her from being a murderess.
Damn it, the man was a perfect stranger. She'd never seen him before.
She told you so?
We agreed he looked more than a bit of a bounder. Is that to be used in evidence against her?
You feel warmly in the matter?
I don't know what you're driving at.
Then let us be practical and drive at facts. Did you know Colonel Armstrong?
Not to speak to. You see, his outfit and mine wouldn't have mixed much. I'm Indian Army, and he was British Army serving in India.
Royal Scots?
How did you...
It was in the papers when he shot himself after the kidnapping.
Rotten show. Thought he'd be tougher than that. After all, he's got a DSU and an MC in France.
Poirot stares at him. In ignorance?
Distinguished Service Order and Military Cross.
Mon Colonel, Ratchet was responsible for 4 deaths. The murder of the Armstrong child, which resulted in the death of Mrs. Armstrong while giving premature birth of a stillborn baby, and for the subsequent suicide of Colonel Armstrong in the face of multiple and intolerable bereavement. I would have understood his action even if, in addition to a DSO and an MC, he had possessed a VC, which stands, as you may know, for Victoria Cross, and is awarded for valor.
Arbuthnot has the face to look briefly ashamed, but quickly recovers.
Then in my opinion, Ratchet deserved what he got, though I'd sooner have seen him properly tried by jury and legally executed.
You prefer law and order to private vengeance?
Oh, you can't go about feuds and stabbing each other like a lot of hairy Corsicans, can you? Say what you like, trial by 12 good men, and true is a sound system.
We believe the murder was committed at 1:15. What were you doing then?
Yarning with young, what's his name, McQueen, in his compartment. He was interested about the future of India, but a bit impractical. He thought the British ought to move out.
Did either of you leave the compartment at any time?
We cut to sepia flashback with wind effects illustrating.
Yes, we both hopped out at Vinkovki about midnight for a stretch and a breather, but it was so bloody cold we hopped straight back in again.
Wasn't the train door locked?
We only had to lift the crossbar.
Did you lower the crossbar when you got in again?
As we observe that they did not, we cut to inquiry headquarters color.
No, I can't remember that we did. Should we have?
Technically, yes. An unauthorized passenger could have entered the Calais coach without a reservation.
And sorry, go ahead.
And how long did you stay yarning after that?
To 1:30 at least. It was what I call a 3-pipe yawn.
You are the only passenger in the Calais coach who smokes a pipe. Doctor?
As doctor approaches with exhibit.
So it would seem.
Then this must be your pipe cleaner.
It's the same brand.
It was found in an ashtray.
Cut to sepia flashback. Top shot of ashtray from scene 109. The two different matches, the charred paper and the pipe cleaner.
By the dead man's bedside.
Cut to inquiry headquarters color.
Then someone planted it there. It's a used pipe cleaner. Or are you suggesting I'm fool enough to have entered Ratchet's room, murdered him, cleaned my pipe, dropped my clean and ashtray, lit a fresh pipe, dropped the match and left?
No, Colonel Arbuthnot.
Anyway, I couldn't have been there at 1:15. I was still talking to, what's his name, McQueen. He'll bail me out, so appear.
Yes, Colonel Arbuthnot. Call Miss Debenham.
Arbuthnot's truculence shrivels to anxiety. Ping!
Can I stay?
No, Colonel Arbuthnot.
We glimpse Pierre in corridor as Arbuthnot exit, and then pan Poirot back to his table, where Mary Debenham composedly awaits interrogation.
Miss Debenham, forgive me. Please be seated. I must be brief. You met Colonel Arbuthnot in Baghdad and fell in love with each other? Why must the English always conceal even their most impeccable emotions?
To answer your observation in order, of course, thank you. Yes, and I don't know.
Then let me remind you of what you do know. That on the Bosphorus ferry boat, I overheard a part of your conversation with Zikr.
Cut to sepia flashback, scene 28.
But Mary.
Not now. When it's all over, when it's behind us, then.
Back
When what was all over, Miss Debenham? When what was behind you? Was it some test that had to be performed? Some ordeals that had to be endured? Some dark deeds that had to be dispatched?
Mr. Poirot, I am not at liberty to answer any of those questions.
Not here on this train, perhaps. But when the Yugoslav police take over an unsolved murder case abroad, you will not remain at liberty unless you answer the question.
I can only call my lawyer while distant. This is a private matter between Cornell and myself.
Miss Debenham, In a murder case, no matter is private, and evasion breeds suspicion.
His voice has gradually risen, and we now hear two more voices rising in muffled altercation from the corridor outside. Perrault, far from objecting to this, seems almost to be engineering it.
Mr. Kono, Perel, Mr. Perel here, especially forbidden.
So answer my question!
Mr. Pro has no right to drag private matters into the light of.
When what was all over?
Am going in.
When what was behind you?
No, Mr. Kono.
Who's to stop me?
A scuffle outside as we cut to brief flight in corridor. Arbuthnot's fist connects with Pierre's chin. Pierre's head jerks back and hits the door, whose handle Arbuthnot turns prior to kicking it open. We cut to inquiry headquarters. Perrault back to us in. Sees Pierre totter and slump to the compartment floor. Arbuthnot steps over him and strides towards Perrault's table, where Mary has risen.
Ah, come in, Kern. I was expecting you.
We pull back to include Bianchi and Doctor advancing from far.
Dio mio! Oh, another murder!
Bosh, I only clipped him in the jaw.
Doctor?
Coming around.
Then kindly resuscitate him in the waiting room.
Doctor busies himself with this during.
Now, Colonel, what can I do for you?
Keep your hands off Miss Debenham.
I was not aware that I was keeping my hands off Miss Debenham. I asked her a simple question which she refused to answer.
So I.
Then perhaps you can answer it for her.
A pause, during which Doctor assists Pierre into second room. Bianchi reseats himself and Arbuthnot ponders.
Can you give me your solemn oath as a foreigner
Bianchi splutters.
that if answer has nothing to do with the murder, you'll treat it confidentially?
I will.
6 months ago, before I'd even met Miss Debenham, my Min Sahib,
What?
my wife expressed herself bored not only at living in India, but living with me, and asked me to provide her with a divorce. In view of my position as a commanding officer, 12 Gurkhas, I refused. Had I not, I should have lost my command. My wife returned to England, where there is irrefutable evidence that she's been persistently unfaithful to me. I have therefore instituted divorce proceedings in which she is cited as the guilty party. When those proceedings are behind us, when those proceedings are all over, I propose to marry Miss Debenham. Meanwhile, it is of vital importance under English law that our behavior should provide no evidence for counter proceedings by my wife. Does that answer your question?
It is certainly an answer. Is Pierre sufficiently recovered to?
Fully.
He presses pull push once. Ping!
Then may we leave?
You may, with the assurance that my foreigner's lips shall be sealed.
Thanks. Sorry if I hurt the lad. Provocation.
He opens the corridor door for Mary and shuts it behind him.
They could have done it together. See, it's wrong. They have what you call hidden fire. But where is the motivation? Why would you not ask if she had been to America?
Because I did not need to.
He signals Doctor to press bell push. Ping! A bruised Pierre ushers Foscarelli and is about to withdraw when.
Pierre,
Monsieur.
they quand même excuse de son attaque.
Merci, monsieur.
He withdraws, and Poirot, standing, motions a beaming Foscarelli to be seated.
Signor Foscarelli, I shall not detain you long. You are a naturalized American subject?
You bet.
Since
70 years. Mi codo del coño. Precise. Oh, sorry. My apologies. Start.
That's
I-
also you, Aubrey.
Yeah. Mi ricordo del giorno preciso quando mia mamma.
Fastia did rispondere alla question. Otherwise, he will detain you longer than you would have detained him.
you are a motor car salesman,
You bet. American automobile to Italianos.
did you ever meet Cassetti?
Not on your sweet life. Era mafioso.
He was of the mafia.
Who do you think killed him?
Un natural mafioso. They're always killing each other with a knife or a gun. Poo poo, boom 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 boom, pop pop.
Suddenly, like an uncanny echo, we hear the pum-pum-pum of running footsteps culminating in the path of a knock on the door, which bursts open to reveal Mrs. Hubbard brandishing a blood-encrusted dagger in her hand. A moment of total silence, then...
Why have you brought this dagger from the place? Because it was in my makeup bag.
What did I say? God no knives. Is a vendetta between two mafiosi.
Give me the dagger.
He proffers it to the doctor for examination and continues with Mrs. Hubbard.
When did you last open your makeup bag? Yesterday evening, when I took everything out. If you had taken everything out, why did you need to reopen it? Because I was putting something back in. Mrs. Hubbard, you may set your mind at rest.
He picks up the conductor's tunic from the sofa and displays it.
The missing button! Precisely. And I can assure you that the owner of the tunic is not now on the train. Are you going back to the dining car? I'll say I am. Do you think I could face my compartment so soon after this? Then would you be so kind as to ask the chief attendant to redispose the chairs and the tables so that Signor Bianchi, Dr. Constantine, and myself can confront the passengers with the solution of the murder?
Stunned astonishment from Bianchi and Doctor, who nearly drops the dagger as Poirot ushers an incredulous Mrs. Hubbard to the corridor door, which he opens.
I just can't wait to see my daughter's face when she hears.
This once, Poirot has no time for politeness. He shuts the door in her face.
I help with the resolution.
Yes, if you briefly answer 2 more questions.
Shoot.
Did Mr. Beddoes ever leave your compartment on the night of the murder?
No, he grunted like a pig in pain with his teeth. And make the whole place stink like a Garfani.
Loaves.
Have you ever been in private service?
No.
Thank you. You may go.
As door shuts,
Enfin?
The blood human. Its contagion is consistent with the expected time of death. Dagger, which I can buy cheaply by dozens from Bali Bazaar, could probably in at least 2 different hands have inflicted all the wounds.
And you know who inflicted them.
Almost. Our last interrogation will be something of a gamble. If it succeeds, then I know.
he presses the bell push. Ping! Pierre ushers in Mr. Hardman and retires as Poirot indicates chair to the loudly check-suited, pink-shirted, flashy tie-pinned, gum-chewing American.
You are Cyrus B. Ardman, a theatrical agent?
No,
Sensation.
I mean, I'm not a theatrical agent.
But
That a phony issued to me under license by Pinkerton.
the detective agency?
From Bull Bench, Roger Acton for American Bodyguard they sent me. I wasn't so hot, was I?
Can you prove this was the reason for your journey?
Hardman flicks a printed card across the table. Poirot reads it, nods, pockets it, and from the same pocket extracts a snapshot, which he flicks face downwards across the table. As Hardman lifts it with the caution of a poker player, we cut to Poirot intensely watching. Point of view, close up, Hardman. Eyes lowered, looking at the snapshot, whose detail we need not see. We hold him thus for 5 seconds, then...
Paulette Marco.
When at last he raises his eyes, they are brimming with tears.
Now I can stop pretending to be anything.
His soft-spoken voice is his own. Quick time dissolved to...
Dining car with all 12 passengers. Seated in the forward end of the car and waiting, like a hushed and expectant audience, the brisk entrance of... Reverse POV shot. Pierre carrying a conductor's uniform, kimono, and dagger. He lays all three on a table containing other exhibits and discreetly withdraws to make place for Bianchi, who sits at our right of a central double table. Doctor, who sits at table left, and Poirot, who sits at the table center, having first ushered in Hardman and motioned him to a chair set somewhat apart from the other passengers, in whom his solitary appearance excites a murmur of speculation. Can Hardman be the murderer? Bianchi quickly squashes the murmur by slapping the tabletop with the flat of his hand.
May I respectfully suggest that there should be no talking while Mr. Poirot addresses you. If anyone wishes to make a statement, he or she may do so at the meeting's end.
Poirot rises.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are all aware that the repulsive murderer has himself been repulsively, and perhaps deservedly murdered. How and why? Here is the simple answer.
From now on, we intercut close shots of involved passengers, of relevant exhibits, and of the wagon lit diagram.
Mr. Foscarelli has testified that Cassetti, alias Ratchet, was a member of the Mafia. There's also testimony supporting the theory that the murderer was a stranger to us all. Mrs. Hubbard was conscious of a man in her compartment soon after 1:15 a.m. She later found near her bedside the button of a wagon lit conductor who cannot have been Pierre, because only half an hour ago Fräulein Schmidt discovered, planted in her suitcase, a conductor's cap, trousers, and a tunic which could not conceivably have fitted Pierre, and from which a button was in fact missing. In the pocket of the tunic was a conductor's passkey. Later still, Mrs. Hubbard discovered this blood-stained dagger in her makeup bag. Dr. Constantine confirms that it could have been the murderer's weapon. The obvious inference is that the stranger, disguised as the conductor, boarded the train, probably by one of the local carriages, at Vinconville, and he made his way by means of the passkey to Ratchet's room, stabbed him to death as in the Mafia custom, planted the dagger and the uniform, and departed, since the train was now halted in a snowdrift, through this door, which had earlier been neglectfully left unlocked by Colonel Abernorth and Mr. McQueen when they took a breather together on the platform in Vincol. By then, a strong wind was blowing, and the murderer's footsteps would have been swiftly obliterated by the drifting snow. Who was he? I'm inclined to agree with Mr. Forchet. That he was a rival member of the Mafia, exacting private vengeance for a vendetta whose precise nature the Yugoslav police will doubtless identify.
Poirot sits down, to a dismayed astonishment of Bianchi and Doctor, but to the approval of the relieved passengers. Foscarelli's bravo, bravo, there even starts a ripple of applause from all but the princess.
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Shh, 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 shh.
Is that all? No, it is not. I said, here is the simple answer. There is also a more complex one.
Bianchi and the doctor brighten. The passengers do not. Indeed, each passenger must now strive to conceal any telltale reactions which might suggest his or her own guilt, or that of another.
But remember my first solution, Bianchi. When you have heard my second, let us assume what is perfectly possible, that the mysterious stranger with his convenient passkey did not exist. We know that the communicating door between the Athens and the Calais coach, that was locked regularly every night after dinner. The murder must have been committed by some person or persons in this coach, and therefore at present in this dining car. Let us, for the moment, not answer the question how, but the question why, which will tell us how. It was not surprising that every single one of you have heard about the notorious Armstrong case. But I confess to a mild surprise when Mr. McQueen, the first passenger whom I interrogated, admits head under emotional distress that he had actually known Mrs. Armstrong, albeit very slightly.
Sepla flashback from scene 25.
She was gentle and frightened, but not too frightened to take an interest in a 17-year-old boy who wanted to go on the stage. She even said she'd write too.
As he hesitates, we cut back to dining car.
Was McQueen lying when he denied ever having known that Ratchet was Cassetti? Or did he become Ratchet's secretary as part of a deliberate plan to avenge Mrs. Armstrong's death? And did this plan involve other passengers? Or was or was his presence on the train a pure coincidence? Only by interrogating the other passengers could I hope to see Zilla. But when I began to question him, the light, as Macbeth would have said, thickened. When I told the Princess Dragomirov that I knew she was Sonia Armstrong's godmother, her answers to my subsequent questions about the Armstrong household smelt strongly of inaccuracy and evasion. But even I remembered more from continued the newspaper reports that she, from her frequent visits, that yes, was there, not a chauffeur.
Now, quick tempo cuts. Sepia flashback from scene 146.
Oh, there was, but I never used him. I had my own.
Dining car color.
Evasion! I asked her the name of Mrs. Armstrong's personal maid.
Sepia flashback from scene 146.
I always travel with my own personal maid. There was no need to speak with Mrs. Armstrong's.
Evasion. I asked for particulars of the manservant.
Sepia, flashback from scene 148.
I think he was formerly the colonel's Indian. How do you call it? Orderly.
Dining car color.
Inaccuracy. Colonel Armstrong was an officer of the British Army of India. He would have had a British Batman, like Private Beddoes, to serve his personal needs. Only officers of the Indian Army, like Colonel Arbuthnot, have Indian orderlies. I ask the name of Sonia Armstrong's much younger sister.
Sepia, flashback from scene 142.
I cannot recall her name because whenever I paid a visit, she was always away at school, where she did not do very well. In the holidays, she had a governess who also Sonia's part-time secretary.
Dining car color.
Unbelievable, Evasion! I asked the name of the governess.
Sepia, flashback from scene 142.
My memory is not what it... yes. A Miss Freebody.
Dining car color.
No, je m'en doubt. Hey, the princess, it seems, is playing the psychological game of word association. Freebody is the junior partner in one of London's most famous and opulent ladies' stores, of a sort which the princess may herself patronize. The name of the senior partner is Debenham. Debenham and Freebody. Was the princess covering up for our Miss Debenham, who is also a governess? Can she tell us the name of Mrs. Armstrong's young gal sister?
Close shot. Mary, expressionless, looking at close shot. Princess, expressionless, looking at close shot. Bianchi, who beginning to look very uneasily at the questioner as we pan to.
Then I will tell you both her Christian and her maiden name. Her maiden name is marked clearly on her husband's passport. Grunwald. When I asked Princess Dragomirov to give me the maiden name of her own goddaughter, Mrs. Armstrong, she could not possibly, as a godmother, plead ignorance of this. She replied,
Sepia, flashback from the end of scene 142.
Sonia's maiden name was Greenwood.
Dining car color.
Grunwald is the German for Greenwood. The princess's hesitation persuades me that Grunwald was the true maiden name of her goddaughter, Mrs. Armstrong.
Countess Andranil's hand flies to her mouth, apparently to mask a sudden cough.
And that the Countess Andranil, Mrs. Armstrong's surviving sister, her Christian name is Helena. Not Helena, but Helena. Or Helena, however you want to say it. And where did she lose her Christian's name initial? H?
From the table of exhibits, he snatches up Sepia flashback, insert from scene 135, passport page.
She lost it under a convenient grease spot on her husband's passport.
Dining car color.
Why was the grease spot purposely applied? Because she and her husband were afraid that this handkerchief bearing the initial H and found on the floor by the murdered man's bed might lead me to suspecting her of complicity in the murder.
I swear before God and on my word of honor as a gentleman that this handkerchief does not belong to my wife.
Of course it does not. Nor does it belong to Mrs. Harriet Belinda Hubbard, nor to Fräulein Hildegard Schmidt, whose finest quality is her loyalty.
Set be a flashback scene from 152 Hildegard Pro. No, no, monsieur. This is the handkerchief, not of a maid, but a great lady.
Like your mistress?
Now she examines it carefully and shakes her head. This is her style, but not her handkerchief. I know all her linen. Besides, the initial is wrong.
Is the princess's first name?
Natalia Mosia. It is a Russian name.
In the Russian or Cyrillic alphabet, a capital H is presented or printed like a capital N. La princesse, should this costly handkerchief cease to remain an exhibit, it will be returned to your loyal maid for laundering.
Cut to close up princess, very neatly but not quite ready to see a smile. Report back to include.
Or
Oi.
is it? That's somebody else. Is that
Sandy,
Sandy?
yeah, Sandy's Perot.
Oh, Sandy, sorry.
Or
Sandy.
is Hildegard Schmidt really your maid? It's okay. I perhaps a nose for the art of fine foods I later trap.
Supper flashback from end of scene 152.
Fräulein Schmidt, I am sure that you did not hide the uniform, as I am sure that you are a loyal and devoted friend to your mistress, a comfort, a solace, and even a good cook. You see, you are a good cook, are you not?
All my ladies, so I.
You stop, her mouth open, looking frightened. We cut to a close-up of this and dining car color.
If you are employed as a lady's maid, your ladies have little chance of learning whether you are a good cook. As good a cook as Fräulein Schmidt must have been to the Armstrong household.
184. Helga looking mutely apologetic at Princess, looking sternly at Blanche, looking haughtily at Perel, who totally ignore him.
Ifin, who do we now have in the Calais coach that knows or could have known the Armstrong household? We have one, McQueen, who became boyishly devoted to Mrs. Armstrong at the time of the kidnapping. Two, the Princess Dragomirov, who was Mrs. Armstrong's devoted godmother. Three, the Countess Adrienne, who was Mrs. Armstrong's devoted younger sister. The Count Andrini, who is Helena's devoted husband and Mrs. Armstrong's devoted brother-in-law. Hildegard Schmidt, who was Mrs. Armstrong's devoted cook. Mary Debenham, who was once Mrs. Armstrong's devoted secretary. Miss Debenham's inclusion is based on the flimmiest.
Bianchi slapped a disappointing hand on the table.
Under interrogation, Miss Debenham denied that she had ever lived in America. On another matter, she said,
Supper flashback for scene 164. I can only call my lawyer long distance. Dining car.
an Englishwoman who had never lived in America would have said, I can always make a trunk call to my solicitors. Totememe, I must thank Colonel Abernathy for a remark which finally resolved all my own doubts and confusions about this extraordinary case. I set aside the curious fact that although he denied ever speaking to Colonel Armstrong in India, he was able to remember in detail the decorations which Colonel Armstrong won years later in France. I prefer to remember his views on the British jury system
Over everyone's surprise. Cut to Supper. Flashback from end of scene 158.
You prefer law and order to private vengeance? Well, you can't go about blood feuds and stabbing each other like a lot of hairy Corsicans can. You say what you like, trial by 12. The iron tongue of midnight hath told
You're breaking up a little
Danny
bit, Sandy.
12. Suddenly,
I'll
the
take my
number
luck.
12 began to
Oh, never mind.
toll in my mind like a great bell. Doctor, how many stab wounds in Ratchet's body?
12.
Mr. McQueen, how many capital letters, every letter inscribed by a different hand, were contained in each of the 2 threatening messages you showed me on Ratchet's correspondence file?
Insert the 2 just report message for scene 1 or 2. I killed a killer, prepare to die. Over this.
12.
Dining car. Color.
Colonel Arbuthnot, how many persons in a jury? 12. Pierre Paul Mitchell?
Pierre rode for the far corner. Fight chance to use his full name.
How many passengers in this coach, excluding myself and the murdered man?
12, monsieur.
Show me your wallet. Ventre portrait fier.
Pierre threads his way to Perrault's table where he set down the wallet that Perrault searched. A snapshot we need not to see. Perrault fumbled in his own pocket. No!
Mr. Hardman, you may stand if you wish, but you may not talk. I swear on oath that after you boarded the train, Mr. Ratchet asked me to be his private bodyguard, not you, and I refused.
From his pocket, he produced a snapshot of sight identical Pierre and displayed them both on the tabletop, where Pierre now break down in quiet but uncontrollable sob. Hildegard, persistently blowing her nose into a large, sensible handkerchief, did not have a mere rip or temporary. Betsy Perrault, Pierre.
Your daughter Paulette never died of scarlet fever, did she?
Stepper, new material, Paulette Michael's suicide.
She threw herself out of her mistress's bedroom window.
Dining card, color.
They couldn't have done it without you, could they? You, the procureur of this disguise for the mysterious member of the Mafia who never existed any more than the owner of this kimono. Existed as a real character and not as a red herring to confuse and deceive me, though I think I was not deceived. I have an eye for, how shall I say it?
Stepper, flashback scene 86, the Camino figure and roof of WC.
The figure of a receding woman.
The Count looked dagger of disapproval at.
Countess, your cosmopolitan accent showed a talent for mimicry which could have been inherited from your actress mother. God knows from what implausible source. Miss Greta Olson inherited an English vocabulary too ludicrous to be credited.
I was
Scene 134.
I was born backwards. That is why I work in Africa as missionary, teaching little brown babies more backwards than myself.
Dining car, color.
You coined words like bedgown, yet you understood words like emolument. I truly believe that you did look after little brown babies in your mission at Shimoga, which is in India, by the way, not in Africa, but I suspect that you were covering up for having once before then, when you were in America, looked after a little white baby called Daisy. You were lucky only to be bound and gagged, not crushed like the manservant. Mr. Beddoes?
Sir? Yes?
You served in the British Army in Scotland. Colonel Armstrong was in the Royal Scots. Will you now have the goodness to stand in front of Dr. Constantine and give him your deepest butler's bow?
But Joe impatiently bowed deeply to Doctor, who with expert finger filled a nap of the relic bent neck. The pause.
Oh.
Yes, there is an old concussion.
The result of a slight fracas in the mess, sir, over the quality of a pudding called Spotted Dick.
Thank you. But I think you've been spotted too. Mr. Foscarelli is knowledgeable about automobiles. I asked him if he had ever driven one in private service.
Flashback from scene 166.
Yeah, all right.
No, no, sorry. See, no.
Dining car color.
I think Mr. Foscarelli's appalling English is more genuine than Miss Olson's. I think he meant yes.
think.
Yes, think. What else can be done on a train isolated by snowdrift except think? These people are not implicated in the crime, then why, under interrogation, have they all told me unnecessary but often stupid lies? Lies inconsistent with each other. Why?
That was because of you, Mr. Perot. We're not affected on the train. They have very little time to concert their cover story.
I was hoping that someone other than myself would say that.
You have all banned all suspect trains.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to my own reconstruction of the night of the murder, which is also the night of the red earrings. I only wish I could do so with the consummate impressions of America's greatest tragic actress, Linda Arden.
Them two.
I've always heard she wanted to play comedy parts, but her second husband wouldn't have it.
Dare
Miss
one
Hubbard?
deduce that she was being cured of her incurable
Yeah, keep going. We haven't switched yet.
disease and is no longer bedridden? It is I who should be committed to bed in a mental home. It is I who needs a cure for being so slow to notice the tricks that were played on me in regard to the time of the murder.
This is actions and descriptions here, Chris.
Should I do it for the discussion? Or just get to action reading?
Yeah, the whole thing.
I see no reason why the deceptive reconstruction of event leading to and culminating in the murder. We should not have acquisition running time by using a discrete film ticker accelerated when required by continuity. At the center of right-handed base of frame in music, with right on the right be confined to the opening and closing credit. You'll be mad at value here. Action resumed.
And this is where we switch.
And Haley, I think, take over for.
Sepia reconstruction?
Yep.
Yes. Sepia reconstruction, the time of the murder. We start with the sound and visual effects of a train running at high speed and ticker showing 9.40 over. New angle on end of scene 127. Beddoes in Ratchet's room. His duties performed, he stands with his hands behind his back against the bolted communicating door to Mrs. Hubbard's room. We close to Beddoes's hands serendipitously unbolting this door during. Will there be any more, sir? Whip
There-
hand.
There will. Tell Mr. McQueen I want to see him. Now.
Mrs. Hubbard's room continued. Ticker continuing normally as Mrs. Hubbard in negligee gently slides back similar bolt on her side of the same communicating door. Ticker accelerates to 9.50 over. Quick dissolve to Ratchet in bed, listening to McQueen, who completes reading draft of telegram behind the bed table and out of Ratchet's eyeline.
And 6 bakers stop, only 5 repeat, 5 bakers were delivered. 1 repeat, 1 badly chipped, which will be returned on receipt of replacement to my Paris address, signed Ratchet.
The powder has dissolved invisibly in the glass as we pull back to two-shot Ratchet, foreground, McQueen, background.
Okay, actor.
Cut to Perot in bed wearing mustache protector, scene 68. He is overhearing.
That's all.
Good night, Mr. Ratchet.
Cut back to Ratchet's room, see scene 68.
Good night, Hector.
Continued front. McQueen, closing the door behind him, is seen to leave. Ratchet rises from bed and, prior to cleaning teeth, lets down wash basin with a clunk, which Poirot hears. See scene 68. Ratchet, new material. Teeth cleaned, he tips back, wash basin, drinks the glass of spiked valerian, and gets back to bed. Then, from the drawer of his bedside table, he extracts and obviously rereads the contents of insert a strip of paper. On it is penciled in capital letters written by different hands. Daisy Armstrong. Suddenly, the letters blur. Cut 2. The drug hits Ratchet, and he falls back in bed, and the paper still is held in his nerveless hand, which drops to the floor. Ticker accelerates over, quick time dissolve 2. Ratchet's hand, still holding message. Ticker at 12:35 and moving normally. Abnormal is the stillness and total silence. The train has just halted in the snowdrift. We pull up and back to include McQueen, looking down without first seeing the hand holding the message. On Ratchet, mouth open in a drugged stupor. He takes Ratchet's pocket watch from its wall hook, moves its fingers forward to 1:15. Insert with a small closed penknife cracks the glass of the watch, which he inserts in Ratchet's pajama pocket. Then McQueen, the would-be actor, gives the loud, blood-chilling groan and cry, which wakes Poirot. Clip from the end of scene 84. Ping goes the bell. Poirot rises and peers out at continued. From scene 85, Pierre hurrying down the corridor toward camera. He taps, then knocks at Ratchet's door. A second bell rings elsewhere. Princess Dragon Miroff's. Now we're in Ratchet's room. McQueen and drugged Ratchet. Ticker at 12:37.
Ce n'est rien, c'était un kitchemat.
McQueen hears off stage Poirot reshuttling his own door and hastily prepares to leave, but suddenly spots the message on the floor under Ratchet's dangling hand. He seizes the strip of paper, strikes a wagon-lit book match from his pocket, then drops the burning message and the match into Ratchet's ashtray, which already contains Ratchet's cigarette butt and one of the round matches borrowed from Poirot. This during
Bring back the Ratchet. May you now have a pleasant dream.
McQueen impatiently looks down on ashtray, where the message burns and smolders. Then he exits through the now accessible communicating door into Mrs. Hubbard's room. We close to an ashtray, the ashtray, where the message chars and blackens into apparent indecipherability. Ticker stops and vanishes at whatever time it would normally, say 12:40. Cut to dining car color. We intercut occupants during this set by Poirot.
At 1:15 came Mrs. Hubbard's announcement that there was a man in her room who had 4 reasons which I dare not even guess. Shed a button. Next morning, the murder was discovered. Oh, Miss Dr. Constantine set the time of death anywhere between midnight and 2 a.m. I came to various conclusions. The clumsy cliche of the smashed watch registering 1:15 was designed intentionally to excite my disbelief. And since McQueen had over-emphatically told me that Ratchet spoke no languages, I was intentionally being maneuvered into believing that Ratchet was already dead when the voice from his room cried out in French. In other words, I have been being forced into the theory that the murder was committed at some time earlier than 1:15. A period for which every passenger had an unshakable alibi.
He approaches the passengers like a prosecuting attorney.
But supposing that the crime was committed not earlier but later than 1:15, when all the distracting noises and incidents designed to confuse me had died down, and I had lapsed into sleep because the train was now silent and at peace.
He has been pacing, but now stands still as a statue.
Silent, yes. At peace, no. But 2 o'clock the murder was afoot. Envisage it.
We close to Big Head, Pierre, and dissolve through to Sepia Reconstruction, the murder of Ratchet. His compartment remains in darkness until illuminated by a dim electric torch held by Pierre, who enters from Mrs. Hubbard's communicating door. He wears his conductor's uniform and gloves. He pulls back the bedcloths to expose the sleeping victim's body and tiptoes to Ratchet's corridor door, which he locks and chains from inside. Then his torch lifts to open communicating door and flickers a signal.
Come.
So begins a procession of murderers who, one by one, step from Mrs. Hubbard's room into the torchlight and are guided by the torch to Ratchet's bedside, where each delivers his or her stab with the cheap oriental dagger that Mrs. Hubbard will later find in her sponge bag. Each stab is masked as each murderer leans over the bedside to deliver it. Each murderer, male or female, wears dressing gown, night attire with eerie touch, gloves, and since this is a ritual murder, each has a message to whisper or murmur to the victim before returning through Mrs. Hubbard's door to make way for a successor. In the following order: Arbuthnot, the professional officer, no qualms as he strongly and accurately stabs.
In memory of Colonel Armstrong, a great soldier and an even greater friend.
He salutes and hands dagger hilt to Mary Debenham, entering calm and collected.
And for Mr. Dontron to took me into their home and their heart.
Greta Olson, frightened and but determined as she hesitates over the body.
For their Daisy and mine.
Mrs. Hubbard, every inch the tragic actress. If anyone knows how to stab spectacularly, she does. She grasps the dagger hilt in both gloved hands and holds it high above her head. Then, in the low, soft voice that has thrilled thousands,
Oh, my daughter and my little granddaughter.
the dagger plunges. Countess Adrigny, who for the first time is heard speaking in her native American accent as she stabs. For my sister and my little niece. Count Adrigny, receiving the dagger in his right hand and holding his wife's hand with his left.
Cassetti, for the grief you brought to my beloved wife.
Foscarelli, for once, not beaming.
Yes, yo.
He stabs with relish and spits on the body.
Tui.
Yes, the princess. Her left hand on her stick, her right distastefully holding a small cambric handkerchief over nose and mouth, enters with Hildegard, who holds the dagger, and stabs.
Schweinfund.
Yes, she passes the dagger to the princess, whose frail hand can scarcely hold it. Hildegard grasps the princess's right wrist and guides the dagger to its target, as the princess's handkerchief inadvertently falls.
For my darling goddaughter.
McQueen, steeling himself to stab.
For Mother Armstrong, from Hector.
Beddoes, carrying the dagger hilt delicately between finger and thumb, as though he were going to set it on a carving table. For my gentleman. There is nothing delicate about his stab. He might be carving tough mutton. Continued. Hard man. The circle of torchlight approaches and widens as he stabs on the last words of
Colette, with my love.
Pierre, entering shot, takes the dagger from Hardman's hand to plunge it in the body.
And with mine, God rest the soul of my dear dead daughter.
He pulls back the bedcloths back over the corpse's chest and is professionally smoothing, tidying, and tucking them in as we cut to dining car color.
I repeat, a repulsive murderer has himself been repulsively, and perhaps deservedly, murdered.
We pan the drawn expressionless faces of the participants back to Perot during.
But in which of the two ways I suggested? In the simpler way of the mafioso who boarded the train disguised in the uniform of a wagon-lit conductor, which involves only the one question: did such a man exist? Or is the more complex way that I have just outlined, which involves many questions and, of course, considerable scandal? Signor Bianchi, it is for you, as the director of the line, to choose the solution we shall offer to the police at Broad. I confess I am in two minds, though I suspect that the police at Broad would prefer the simplicity of the first solution.
Continued quick cuts of some passengers' strained faces then. I profoundly agree. More quick cuts of remaining passengers and Pierre during. Oh, we have the uniform to show the police. And if we have the uniform, there must have been a man in it, huh? I elect for the first solution. Cut to full shot. Passengers and Pierre still motionless for the splitness of split seconds. Then, clank! The train jerks into sudden movement, and the passengers lurch into sudden relaxation.
We are starting again.
Mrs. Hubbard looks at him with tears in her eyes. Gently, the Countess, and I cannot say that ever, Andrani lays a hand as light as a leaf on the shoulder of her mother, who holds it there.
Yes, we are starting again.
Arbuthnot and Mary dare only to look at each other with love, as the whistle shrills of the train slowly gathers speed. Pierre! Jumping for the passengers! Cut to exterior carriages clanking past camera to unmask working party with picks and shovels who have cleared the railway line of snow. They wave to tight shot. Driver in cabin waves back. From driver's POV, working party receding. Train accelerating until, as it achieves maximum speed, we cut to interior dining car. Champagne cork exploding, we pull back to chief attendant pouring champagne into Bianchi's cheese glass and shifting to adjacent glass over which Perot firmly places the palm of his hand. Oh, you will not join us?
No, I must wrestle with my report and my conscience.
We follow him into the wagon-lit corridor, down which his lonely figure recedes. For the last time, we hear the train's shrill whistle as its entry into a tunnel produces a blackout, over which, to the redoubled clangor of the wheels, we roll up end credits. By this time, these have been atomized. The noise of the train has receded into silence. The end.
Nice reading, you all.
Yay! Sorry, guys. I have to actually take off. I have to go
gotta
to work.
in the morning.
So I actually have to go to work now. All right.
Yeah.
Good night, guys.
Right, good night,
Yeah.
Aubrey.
Hey,
Thanks for
guys.
reading.
And
Mine's
I
in the
am
morning, but I
tired.
got you. It's like almost the same thing.
I'm tired, so I am
Yeah.
That was really fun, y'all.
Ow!
I
I'm
love
glad you
this.
did it.
I like
Good
the
job,
Ken
everyone.
Lovewood. I like the written piece, obviously. Agatha Christie is fucking cool. I've had so much fun. Oh,
Cool.
I'm tired and I've got an early day tomorrow.
All right, Heather. We'll catch you later.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go too. I need to eat dinner.
All right, Sandy.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for reading. So have you seen the 1974 script, Vicky? But not the script, but the movie?
Oh, no, I haven't, no.
Oh, also just me.
Well, everybody's gone except Haley, and yet she's not there.
She's poltergeisting.
Well, that was as fun as the first half.
It's still very well written too.
Yeah.
The actions and descriptions are spot on. Not too much, not too little. You know, and they're very, very nice.
So we have 3 weeks off.
I think so, yeah, because we have.
The next one is Remedial Chaos.
Is that a television show?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't read it yet.
I
I think it is. I think it's a British, 1 hour type of show.
Okay, well, that'll be fun.
And I will read it. I have time.
Yeah, we do have time. So let me just pull up our calendar here and see what we got. If I can get it to open up.
Not bad. It's not even 9 my time.
Mm-hmm. Good. Zoom link. Rules. Where's our schedule? Maybe I don't have the schedule posted. That's why. It must be in my, just in my computer. So I don't actually have it posted. I'll have to remedy that, so everyone else can see what's coming up here too.
Yeah, it's
Oh no, wait, here it is. Is that it there?
July 14th.
Oh, there you go. There's a schedule. Okay.
And then the next one, 2 weeks later, is Doctor Who Time of Angels.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, and we've got lots more fun stuff coming up. We got The Great Gatsby coming up in late August.
Yeah.
Harry Potter in early September, and also Curfew from Schitt's Creek and Mrs. Brown's Boys. So a double.
Yes, what a night that will be. Canadian humor and British humor.
Oh, there we go.
And you'll see how different it really is.
Well, everything I've seen of Canadian humor is absolutely lovely. So.
Yes. We can be quite foolish when we need to. Haley went away.
Yep, Haley left.
So, I know you're busy the next 3 weeks, but we will chat before then, and I'm gonna, after my Edmonton weekend, I'm gonna get on the counting of that Remedial Chaos.
Sounds good.
I will be tired though. After I've been there, I have a whole day where I am useless. I'm so tired. I'm napping all day, and yeah, takes a lot out of you.
Oh yeah, me too. I've got summer camp, so
Ooh.
that's what I'm gone the next couple of weeks. So I've got training next Tuesday, and then 2 weeks of camp after that. Sort of sleeping in a tent with no electricity.
Right.
2 weeks straight. So.
I've been there, done that, but not for 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, it's I'm getting a little old for that. But the kids are great, the program's great. It's the two most supply heavy programs on their calendar. So I've got to pack the entire truck full of stuff to bring with me. So,
Wow.
yeah. It would be nice to, have electricity. This is how much we take it for granted when we don't have it.
Yeah.
So we have to cook out all our own food over the stove, and thankfully the staff take turns on that, so we don't have to each make our own meal. But sleeping on a
Well,
plane.
yeah. I am tired. I'm gonna enjoy a little break. Though I went and signed up for Tuesday with Jack Hay, so
Oh yes, that should be fun. I wish I could do that one because
yeah.
I might sneak out of my training. We'll see.
Yeah, as soon as I said, I'm available next Tuesday, Anamika jumped in. She said, I am too.
Yep, I saw
So,
that. So I did read Mary Wise recently, so I'm not too sad about missing it. But if that's what she's reading, I don't know. So we'll see.
well, I'm going to let you go. You take care
Alright.
until we talk again.
Sounds good. All right. Good night out there in YouTube land. I hope you enjoyed our reading. And we'll catch up to you in July.
Yeah, the 14th, I think I said.
July 14th. Yep. 14th and the 28th.
Look at that. I do have a memory. Okay, well, it was fun. You take care until we meet again.
All right. Sounds great. Good night.